or anyway that stays. What's everybody, Tiancum here with Sew Your Quilt Team. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you make a Christmas bow using Vegas strips. Let's get started. We're going to be making these beautiful Christmas bows that can brighten up your home. You can also add these to your projects just to give it that 3D effect. In addition to that, mantles, garland, Christmas trees, lots of different options there. In addition to that, they all don't have to be Christmassy. If you want to go more for the Hanukkah route, we can do some blues there. If you're going for the Easter route, you can do the purple that you've seen there. Now, all you'll need is a Vegas strip. Now, if you don't know what a Vegas strip is, this is the Soya exclusive pre-cut 6.5-inch strips by width of fabric. If you want to use up a Vegas strip, make a bunch of different ones, go ahead and do that. I've got some extra pieces from one of our last Vegas strip cut downs, which will match the season here with the red and green. So let's explain the construction of this bow a little bit. Now there's a couple of ways that you could be making this. As you can see on this one, you can see all this beautiful red here, but on the back side, I've got little glitz and glimmer with the white, and also on the inside of my bow, I have that same white. If you're gonna be using this technique, you're gonna need 2 of each color. If you wanna make one bow, one color, you'll need 3 strips that are the same color. In addition to that, I've got some scrap batting here that I've already gone ahead and cut to 6.5 inches wide to match the Vegas strips. To get started with the cutting instructions, I'm going to grab one of my greens. I'm gonna open up all the way. I'm gonna grab one of my reds, open it all the way. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna iron out this crease here because we are gonna be cutting this to 31.5 inches by our width here, which will be the 6.5. So I wanna iron that out, make sure I don't have any creases in my project. And I'm going to go ahead and put these right sides together. Now the reason why I'm putting them right sides together is that from here we're going to go ahead and sew them once we cut them out. So I'm going to line this up and cut like so. So this will be a scrap piece, but we can use them to get some of our little ties out if we so choose there. I need to add some batting into this. Now instead of measuring and cutting and doing all those things once more, I'm going to line this right up on top and I'm going to just chop off flush with my fabric here. Then I'll know it's about the right size. And at this point, I've already gone ahead and made the little quilt sandwich or bow sandwich that I'm going to need here. So I've got my top layer, my bottom layer, and my batting right sides together with my 2 pieces of fabric. Now I'm going to sew all the way around this 1/4 inch seam, leaving about a 5-inch hole at the bottom where I can turn everything through. Once I do that, it'll also turn the batting to the inside. So just trust the system here, and we're gonna go ahead and start sewing. Now that I've sewn all the way around, leaving that hole, like I said, what you're gonna wanna do is, if the fabric shifted on you at any point, go ahead and just trim off your excess, because sometimes it does slip a little bit. So I've just got a little bit of fluff there. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this right sides out. Obviously start with one side and then go to the other side when you're doing this. So I went ahead and turned this right sides out. And now with that little hole there, I'm going to just turn it under and we're going to do a top stitch all the way around this so it's going to hide everything. But I'm also going to give this a really good press. So we want to make sure everything looks exactly how you want it to because it is finished work. I'm gonna pop a couple wonder clips on that seam. That way it looks super good. And now with wonder clips in place, I'm gonna do a quick top stitch all the way around to secure everything and give it that extra decorative look. And just like that, we've got the top portion of our bow. Now to complete off the top, all I'm gonna do is decide which side is gonna be my right side out and which side is gonna be the inside of my bow. I want this nice gold and green piece to be the outside. So I'm gonna take it, put them right sides together, sew all the way down, and that will give me the body of this bow. And so I'm gonna turn this so that that seam goes on the inside, and that gives me the top portion of my bow. Now it's time to move on to the tassels and the wraparound for those tassels as well. We're gonna go ahead and pull these pieces in here. And this is what I was telling you guys about. If we were doing this all in one color, I would have enough pieces with the extra to be able to do one more strip, make everything that I needed, and everything would be fine. But because I'm doing it multicolor, I'm going to need a piece out of this and a piece out of this, and it'll be a very, very small piece including these extra ones. So it's a little bit of a waste there, but you get a two-tone bow instead. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my template, which is down in the description below, and then we're gonna start cutting. And it's gonna be super easy. I need 2 from each of these pieces. So I'm gonna need 1 there, I'm gonna need 1 on the red here, and we're gonna follow pretty much the same thing that we've done here. Right sides together, piece of batting in the middle, yada, yada, yada. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this. You can go ahead and cut this out with a pair of scissors, rotary cutter, whatever you like, and I'll just show both options there. As far as a rotary cutter, you can 100% freehand this one. So you can go just like so. Just like that. I got my first one cut out. I'm gonna go ahead and use scissors for the second one. So just like that, I've got my little tails made there. And obviously this is gonna shrink down by 1/2 inch, both of these. So they will become a lot more skinny. It's just the nature of sewing. I'll also need another piece from our batting. I'll actually need 2 pieces, 1 for each side. And so I'm going to just simply lay these down on top of there and cut them out using a rotary cutter. So I've got my pieces here, and the way that we've made these, let me grab this one as my example. We've made these so the tails are individual. Now, the reason why we did that is because that gives you a nice option of positioning your tails here in whichever angle that you like, independently of each other. If you wanted to just take these and sew these together and do it all as one, you could. But again, those angles could be a little bit more tricky, and so we found that it's easier to do it this way. Now we're going to just take a red and put it with the green, green with the red, right sides together. I'm gonna go ahead and sew all the way around, giving myself a 1/4 inch seam. Again, leaving probably on one of the sides here, about a 3 to 4 inch opening. That way I can then flip it right sides out. And then once you get down to these points here, you're gonna need something to poke out those points. I've just got something that's got a nice V shape on it. Now I've got this one kind of in place here. I'm gonna go ahead and keep smoothing this out. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing of my next 2 steps to this one. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm going to fold in my edges, iron it, just like we did on the last one. And I'm gonna sew all the way around, giving it a nice good top stitch. Now that I've gone ahead and sewed this, I already did it to the other one as well. And again, this is finished work, so you want to make sure it is as clean as you possibly can make it, because what you see is what you get at this stage. So now that I have the top and I have the tassels all done there, it's time to add in a little piece that goes right here in the center. It's super easy to do. Let me just slide those out of the way. So with one of my leftover pieces here, I'm going to cut a 2.5 by 6 inch strip here, which is going to be for the center of my bow. Now we're not going to put any batting in this or else it'll make it super bulky. So all I'm going to do is flip them to be right sides together, sew down both sides, and then I'll do a quick turn. Now I'm going to just take this and turn it right sides out, just like so. I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick iron. Now that it's in this stage, I'm going to give it a nice little top stitch down both sides like we've been doing. Take it, put it right sides together, like so. I'm going to now make this into a loop, sewing 1/4 inch seam down. I'm going to fold this like so to make myself this little loop. Now it's time to construct this bow. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to pinch this with my body side in the front and seam directly in the back. I'm going to pinch this right in half, and then I'm going to just pull over the edges towards the center here, which will make it so my bow puckers outward, as opposed to the back side. You see how the bow puckers inwards. So I want the outwards look here. Now that I have that pinched, I'm going to just follow that all the way down, and I'm simply going to slip this collar over the top. Now this bow naturally, since I'm having it pinched here, is naturally going to want to spring back, which will fill in the collar here. And I'm going to just slide this collar all the way up to the front, understanding that the biggest part of this is going to be where those seams are at. So it's going to be a snug fit. So as far as the little tassels or the ends here, you can simply just slide them in there and then pull out this bow, and it will hold it pretty good. But if you want extra stick, you can put a little bit of hot glue in there. You can also use a little bit of fabric glue, lots of different options there. I'm gonna go ahead and take off my clips here. And then on the back side, I am going to add in my tassels where I think they should go. And you're gonna wanna slide them in about 1/2 inch. And now you're gonna open up this bow. You're gonna put your hands on top of it and open it up, and you're gonna stretch so that this piece in the center is becoming tighter and tighter. Pull out those ends, make it nice and fluffy. And just like that, your Christmas bow is done. It's kind of one of those projects where it all comes together right there at the very end, but it's a super simple project. It's really just sewing and flipping multiple times over for the pieces that are needed here. But it's a great way to elevate your Christmas spirit this season. In addition to that, add it to Thanksgiving, you can add it to Easter, you can add it to any holiday, or just as extra decor in your home. Now guys, with that, we hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. As always, down in the description below is the free PDF download on how to make this, including that template that you'll need for the tassels. And while you're down there, make sure you're checking out the Vegas strips on soyaquilting.com. There's a link down there as well. And with that guys, we hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you on the next one.